Recording me already? You are. I see that recording button. Welcome, guys. We are in the second week in August, and as you know, we have lots of programs on sale this month, so there really is no excuse. You can help so many people because there is something for everyone. Don't hold back on your inviting and who you're talking to, because you really can help a lot of people this month. Tonight we asked Jen, who's really not Jen right now, we asked Jen to talk about how she gets new coaches started, because I think she has a really great process, and I think we can all learn a little bit from her. And I think that's, if we're not getting coaches started right, that's kind of where we lose them right from the beginning. So if we can do that part right and engage them right away, like, you know, it's a win-win for everyone. So I'm going to let Jen take over the call and give us all her tips.
All right, guys. Hi, everybody. It's great to see so many familiar faces on there. Yay. Thank you so much for jumping on. So, yeah, I just, I want to go over kind of my thought process on how I get coaches started right, or how I onboard coaches. And the way I do it is just kind of the way that I thought about how I wanted to be helped when we started, or when I started as a coach, and the help that I actually didn't receive and that would have really made sense to me. So that's how I kind of made my coach training. So the number one thing that I think everybody needs to remember when you are bringing on a new coach is that they are really scared and nervous. So you don't want to overwhelm them right off the bat, because it can be very overwhelming, and they can get frozen in their tracks and stop altogether if there's too much information thrown at them. So you'll hear this more often from me, this hashtag, but it's don't be a poo-flanger. Hashtag don't be a poo-flanger. So, and that just means don't just keep bombarding them with this and that and this and that constantly. You got to give them time to process, and you got to give them help through the process. So you're going to want to be, giving them the basics and then checking back. All right, do we have that? Have we implemented that? Okay, then let's go on to the next step. So that's how I kind of created my training process. And then you also need to make it individual, because we're all different. Everybody has their own personality, and everybody's got their own style of coaching. So the people that you are bringing on are attracted to you because of you and your quirks, your personality, your habits. Again, something from Summit, your vibe attracts your tribe, and those people were attracted to you for a reason, because they're like you. So you need to think about, how you felt in the very beginning, the questions that you had, and the the things that you would have liked to have seen when you first started as a coach. So that's how I did my whole system, and I did write a bunch of notes. So I'm going to kind of go from my notes, but I'll try to go step by step. And I do have a lot of documents that I use, and I will share all of those in the files section of Team Motivation, and we can share those throughout the different teams. I can create a little folder or something, or whatever, but I'll share all of my documents with you guys. There's no secret to it. It's just stuff that I have gained and learned from other coaches and borrowed and made my own. So, okay, so I'm going to start with when somebody signs up with you. Number one, when they sign up with you, again, they are nervous and scared, and they just need to be reassured that they're going to, hey, Jason, yay! They just need to be reassured that they are going to not be just crazy overwhelmed. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to send them a nice, gentle, calming welcome letter, okay? It's just going to be a few basic things. You're going to tell them, Hey, thank you so much for joining the team. I'm so honored that you put your trust in me to help you on this journey and help you through this process. And just make them feel comfortable and tell them that you're not going to overwhelm them. You don't want to word vomit all over them and give them so much information. So we're going to give them a few basic things. We're going to tell them their coach ID. We're going to tell them their screen name so that they, are aware of that stuff. Maybe even you could show them, do a little video and show them where to find that and how to look that stuff up in their coach online office. I always like to do what I call V-mails. So it's a video email. And so I will speak to them so that they can see my face and see my body language and kind of get to know me a little bit. So I'll just record all that stuff and speak to them. And then if there's any attachments or handouts, I'll put that in the email as well. The other thing is you want to give them their options as they are a coach. So as they have 3 options. They can be a discount customer, they can be a hobby coach, or they can be a business builder. So it's up to them to decide what kind of coach they want to be. And you need to give a little bit of an explanation with each thing. A customer just gets the 25% off discount, and, they can have that off their Shakeology and any programs, blah, blah, blah. We all know about that. Hobby coach just dabbles. And a business builder is, doing the vital behaviors every day and reaching out and being consistent every day. So make sure they know that. And then the other thing that I like to put in their welcome letter is an about me form. And it's just a few questions, about maybe 6 to 8 questions that you ask them that helps you get to know them and get to know their why. Because just like challengers, coaches need to be motivated sometimes too. And you always need to bring it back to their why. They always need to be reminded of the emotional attachment that encouraged them to sign up in the first place. What was it that made them feel like, yeah, you know what, that sounds exciting. I want to do that. So always get an about me form filled out. And then the next thing I do is I confirm with them when we can do a getting started right call within the next week. I try to make it 48 hours, but a lot of times schedules conflict. So I give them 1 week, and then we have to do a getting started right call. It's best to do a Zoom or like a Google Hangout or something like that if you can. But if you need to do it over the phone, that's okay too. So that's my number 1. That's what I do when they first sign up as a coach. They get that email with all that information in it, okay? All right, Number two is the GSR. That's your getting started right call, okay? We're going to, again, do that within 1 week. The day before, you're going to want to text them or email them or Facebook message them and remind them of your call, number 1. And then number 2, you're going to want to send them an email of the topics you're going to cover in your getting started right call. So those topics that you're going to cover is you're going to go over their about me form. And you don't want to spend a lot of time on this because the GSR call is going to be about 20 to 30 minutes. You don't want to, you're busy and they're busy. And hopefully you're going to be onboarding more coaches and more coaches and more coaches, right? So we don't want to spend our entire week talking, all day long. So try to keep them to 20 to 30 minutes. You can go over there about me, and if you have any questions on it, you can ask them. But most importantly, you want to be a listener. Let them talk. Let them, be the ones to kind of just tell a little bit about themselves in their words. Because sometimes just typing it out on that paper, you don't get to get the feel of really who they are. So that's why it's so great to do these GSRs on a video chat. So go over their about me form. Then the next most important thing is you're going to want to go over the 7-day quick start with them. So that is one of the PDFs that you're going to want to include in their email that they get the day before. Okay, it's going to be the 7-day quick start. And of course, I'm going to include all of this stuff, you know, step by step how I do it. I'll include all that stuff so that you guys can see it. But so go over the 7-day quick start with them. And online, when you pull it up, the PDF online, you can actually fill it out online. You can type all this stuff in, and there's all kinds of links on that form that they can just click on, and it takes them to, you know, if there's like a training or something like that on that GSR, it'll take them right to that. But they can fill in all their information and then download it to have on their computer. So it's really great. You can print it out and you can have it downloaded onto your computer. So always go over the 7-day quick start with them. It's got a couple questions at the end, their why and their stuff like that. So that may be similar to their about me, which is great because you'll already have those answers. And then show them how to find a few things, but don't give it to them. Don't give them every bit of information that they need. Tell them where they can find it, and tell them, you know, how they need to go through their back office, because you don't want to be a hand holder all the time. You don't want to get your coaches used to that. You want to get them used to getting the information and then being confident enough to go forward and find out what they need to know on their own. That's important. Okay. They need to be able to know where to look for this information. The other thing I do in the GSR call is I like to ask them to take the personality test, the color test. It just helps me get an idea of who I'm dealing with. I'm a yellow, and if I'm dealing with somebody that's a red, I need different skills and I need to approach them in a different way. So always just take a minute, send them a link to that color code personality test, and that way you just kind of get an idea of you know, how you need to handle that person. The best way for you to reach them, you need to know, do they text all the time? Would they rather have it be a Facebook message? Do they check their email every day? You need to know exactly what their most comfortable form of communication is, so that when you need to contact them, you've got it, and you're not waiting for a Facebook message that they're never going to see, or, you know, an email that they're never going to see. So just make sure you have their preferred method of communication. And then you give them a little assignment. Okay, after your GSR call, you need to give them a small assignment. So something like show them how to log into their Coach Online office and get them started on the Start Here tab. There's 3 different things that they need to do. There's a CEO welcome, there's a Start Here, and then I forget what the third thing is. It's like an overview or something. I forget exactly what it is, but I know there's 3 tabs that they can go through in that getting started. So have them do that, and within each of those tabs, there's little things for them to do, like take a video tour of the back office and things like that, getting their EFT set up and all that stuff. So just have them go through that and let them know, okay, in another week or 2, we're going to go over these things from the back office. So I want to make sure that you've gone through that. Okay. And set up your next appointment. You need to have one more appointment at least at minimum with them. Okay. All right. So, let's see. In your follow-up Zoom, your last follow-up Zoom, again, I send another email the day before with the bullet points of what we're going to go over. This one's more important because this one's going to really start their training. This one's going to start onboarding them, and it's going to go over their Coach Online office in detail. We're going to tell them about the News and Training tab, and when you go into that News and Training tab, there's the training button. We're going to start them immediately in training. And when they go to the training, they're going to be directed to the leadership ladder, and there's tons of information in there. There's, those leadership ladders that there are those 4 different boxes that you need to learn this, know this, do this, and then I forget what all those boxes are, but there's like 4 different steps in each categories. So you really need to pay attention to those and have them, understand that they're going to need to do some homework. All right. There's lots of information in there. So we go over that with them. And then we talk about Coach Basics. And we get them enrolled in our next Coach Basics. I know a lot of coaches are really gung-ho on, telling them about Success Club and all that stuff. And yes, you can do that in your second or your third chat with them, because they have, even if they join like mid-month, they have that whole next month to get Success Club in order to qualify as a Success Starter. So they can still take a week or two to kind of get their feet wet and not be too overwhelmed right at the beginning. On that third call is when you can start talking to them about Success Club and the things that they need to do to be a business builder. So that's how I get them started. That is my whole process. Now, the other thing that I have for them is I send them in the third email, in that last Zoom call and email, I send them a coach binder is what I call it. Now, I must admit, I need to redo my binder, because as of right now, I have instructions on coaching codes in there. But I think coaching codes has gotten a little obsolete, because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Beachbody has their own Beachbody links, and it's really nice. And it's very easy to use, and it's updated consistently because it's right through Beachbody. So I need to update the coaching codes with Beachbody links, and also the new My Challenge Tracker app. I don't have that information in there. So I am just going to kind of read through for you what I have in my binder that I send my new coaches, and I will show you a copy of this. Actually, should I screen share this, Paula, or should I just go over it? You muted.
Sorry. You could use screen share?
Yeah.
Is it a list?
I think so. I will try and screen share this one.
Because then we can do a print screen.
Okay. All right. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my binder, and it kind of goes over a lot of the same information that I talked about in the previous emails, but it's just a good thing for them to have. Now, the binder that I created, I typed everything up myself, but then I sent it off to make like all of my links live, and so that I could make it editable and things like that. So I tell my coaches that I want them not only to print this out, or I print it out for them and put it in a binder with dividers, but I also want them to save it on their desktop, because it is clickable and they can just hop to the different documents and things like that they need. So again, this is my welcome that I give them, and it tells them, what my job is and what their job is as a coach. Again, I give them their 3 options for what type of coach they are. And that's a little video that I made that just explains the difference between a discount customer, a hobby coach, and a business builder. And then we can type in their screen name, their coach ID. So they always have this information. They know what it is, where it is. I've got important phone numbers. So customer service, coach relations, and then my phone number so that they know how to call me. Then again, their websites that they use. So with their screen name after it, they'll put in their screen name, and those are their websites. And then I talk about the different teams they belong to. So my small team is Team Fusion. Our bigger team is Team Motivation. And then Team Sparty is our parent or cousin team, which is a lot larger team that they can use as resources as well. So I talk about that. The next thing I thought was really important for them was to have all the information on the National Wake Up Call. So I make sure that that's in there, and that there's a link to all the Wake Up Call archives so that they can start going back through those and get their own get some more training. And then how to get text reminders. And then again, here's more first steps for them to take. So it has links to the business quick start, the personality test, again, how to contact them, and then another getting started right, and you can edit this. More contact information. There's Beachbody's how to get a hold of them via email or online chat, and again, my phone number. I just want to make sure that that's in there. A lot of times, sometimes they're always, I don't know how to call you or whatever. All right. Then here's just a few basic tips and tricks to get them started. So a lot of coaches will tell you to get your coaches started with like a business opening post. Hey, I've started becoming a Beachbody coach. I don't know as I necessarily like that. I think it's just better for you to continue to share what you're doing, your journey, and as long as you're sharing that you're using the products and you're, drinking Shakeology and you're doing these workouts and you want people to join you and be, help you stay accountable. I really don't think you need to say, hey, you know what? Join my challenge group because I'm a new Beachbody coach. I don't think you need to do that. I think you just need to continue to talk about what you're doing and that you want people to join you. You're not any different because you're a Beachbody coach. You're still going to do the same thing. So I just go along with maybe posting a few extra things. And here's an example of a posting schedule that you can try. So Motivational Monday, Tasty Tuesday, and so on. So it just gives them some ideas. Tells them a few different things that they can use to edit photos, more ideas on talking about their why, getting them started. And then this goes into more training about your back office and things like that. So they can click on each of these. And then I put in here a few other trainings that I thought were pretty helpful, especially for a new coach, because we don't want to tell a new coach, okay, you need to start friending 5 new people and inviting 5 people and sharing the opportunity with 5 people. I want them to keep it small right at the beginning. So I thought the power of 3 was a very great idea to get my coaches started on without being overwhelmed. And then I like to include Janelle's talk on why not be a coach, because I think she gives some great ideas and covers a bunch of misconceptions about what a coach is and what a coach isn't. So I like to include that to make them feel more comfortable. And then worksheets. Then the binder gets a little bit more in depth. This I have, these are different sections in my binder. So Success Club is number 1. That's going to be all important in building their business is Success Club. So I wanted to make sure that was number 1. Then more about training, where to direct new customers when you get them, how to start a challenge group, your vital behaviors. And I need to update that because there's 4 vital behaviors now. Social media training, and then other websites. So that's where this all goes into. So here's my, first section about Success Club. And it talks all about Success Club and Success Starters and how to achieve that. Here's your coach training and leadership ladder and how to find it in your back office. Let's see. And then there's, and then I from the wake up call from last June was a really good call on how to use the leadership ladder and how it works. So I always direct people back to that, and they can find that in the archives. Okay, here's some ideas on what to do when you get a new customer. So number 1, that I've screwed up on this many times is forgetting to ask them if they already have a coach or if they're already a Beachbody.com or a TeamBeachbody.com member. sometimes they don't know and you have to check. So check by typing their email into the coach enrollment app, and it'll tell you if they already have an account. So check with them first, and then just say, hey, have you ever ordered a Beachbody product before? So you don't want to lose a sale, so make sure you remind everybody to do that. So then it talks about the mobile enrollment app. Again, coaching codes, but I've got to redo that. And then talks about going to their website to direct customers, but that's not always the best way to direct their customers. So, but that's an option. Okay, so then it goes through the mobile enrollment, and then here's how to create your links. Simple coach links is great, but now I need to put in the brand new Beachbody links page, because I think that's really great. Okay, starting a challenge group. We go through how to do that with some great trainings on how to run successful challenge groups with some of my favorite coaches, and your vital behaviors. We're going to go over that. And then at the very end, I give them some good personal development books to start on. Usually when I get a new coach that signs up, I will always buy them The Compound Effect. I think that's a great book to just have in your arsenal and read once a year. It's a great book that not just for business, but for life in general. When you want to make a change, that's the way you do it. So I always buy that for my coaches, but there's a great list of other things and podcasts that they can listen to. And then some social media trainings that I give them. So Facebook, Instagram, those are the two main ones that I use. And then other coach resources, they have other trainings on other social media sites like Pinterest and Snapchat and all that. And again, to end it, more of my information, how to find me, my Facebook and all that stuff. And then after that, they get all their links. Even though I've hyperlinked everything in the document, I want to make sure they have each of these things printed out. So they each get all of the printouts. I will print them out and put them at the end. So the 7 Business Quick Start, or this is the GF. Yeah, Business Quick Start. This is really good. This is not only good for your prospects, but it's also good for your coaches. It's similar to the About Me thing. And it's a great questionnaire. This is in your back office. It's nothing that I created. This is in your back office, and it's a really great resource to use. Health assessment questions. These are in there as well. This is in your back office. Shakeology engagement questions. This is a really great thing to engage people with, so use that. Things for your new coaches to know and learn from. This is a great resource. There's a lot of information here, and so when your new coaches get a question on Shakeology, they can check this out. It's from the Shakeology blog. So again, nothing I created. It's all there for you. And then this is just an example of how to make out a calendar and schedule their stuff. There's a business activity tracker in there, customer follow-ups, the power of 3s. And then I created just a little calendar for them to kind of use, like a monthly goal sheet, and the things that they need to do and keep track of for the month. Then I also have a weekly action plan, so what they're going to do each day of the week. And then a daily action plan with some brain dump areas and what they should be doing each day. They can choose to use these or not. Sometimes it's a lot of paper to use, but some people are paper people, so it's just another option for them. And then I've got some other important business tasks to just keep them thinking on different things that they need to do to keep their business going, or things that they should be scheduling and doing. So that is it. That is basically my coach binder and what I use to keep my people accountable, and how I onboard them. Like I said, I try not to overwhelm them too much. And I just want to make sure that they're comfortable. And from after your last getting started right call, you just want to keep in touch with them, find out the way that they need to feel supported. If they need to meet with you like once a month or every other week or even once a week, if they need to set up, a 20-minute Zoom call or an in-person or something, just find out what they need so that they feel supported. I know that that's something that I really didn't have, and I may want to make sure that my coaches feel from me that they are getting what they need. So I will take the time and make sure that they know that I care about them, and I want to make sure that they're feeling that they're getting the training that they need and that they want. So that's it. That's how I onboard my coaches. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you. That was awesome.
Oh, good.
I love that.
Jen, I seriously have a question. What do you give this to your coach right away, or what do you make them do first? As soon as they're your coach, do they get this?
Well, I kind of feel them out a little bit. I try to give this only to people that I know are going to want to work the business. I don't give it to discount coaches, although if I get somebody that that says, what, I might try that. I'm not right now. I want to, so many people say, oh, I'll do the discount right now, but I want to work on me first. Sometimes those people are the ones I say, I want to give you this information. I might not print it out, but I'll give them the online version. So at least they have it and they can skim through it and look at it. So. Anybody else? No?
Thank you. Are you going to be sharing that on Team Motivation? Do you think?
Yeah, I'll share everything that I've got. I'll put a link to the PDF. Would it be easier if I just shared like a Dropbox file, a link to a Dropbox file where people can look at it, or should I put the actual PDFs up in there? I can do it either way.
I don't know. I can't remember how big it is.
I'm asking my husband across from me what he thinks would be better. I don't know. I'll open whatever you put there.
I'll throw the actual PDFs up there. Just know that it's got all my information on there, but feel free to, copy and paste and redo and make it your own. That's totally fine. I don't care. So.
Oh, I even like the reminder, like you reminded me of all those other tools we have in the back office, like the Shakeology engagement questions. Like that's something that was there at the beginning, and then you kind of forget as you coach for a while.
I mean, every once in a while, I have to go back through. I liked kind of preparing for this call too, because it made me go back through and look through some of those trainings that are in the leadership ladders areas. And I just went, oh my God, there is so much information back here that we didn't have when we started, when a lot of us started. And there is just so much stuff that people can take advantage of and use. It's awesome what's in there now. So yeah, go through it. And us older coaches, go through it and refresh yourself.
Yeah.
There's stuff in there that you've never seen before. I guarantee it. It's great stuff.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So no one has any questions for Jen? They can pick her brain now.
Yeah, go ahead. Whatever you need. No, you're all good? Well, you're all rock stars then.
I think we covered everything. We don't have any questions.
I know.
I'm waiting to pick your brain Friday.
Okay. There you go. See, Karen and I are meeting on Fridays. That's how I want to make sure she's supported. Cool. All right. Well, I don't have anything else, but again, if you guys, if as you're going through it, if I could say if anymore, no, as you're going through it and something comes up that you're like, I don't get what this means in your binder or whatever, just put comments underneath the file where I posted it, or message me, or post in Team Motivation, however, and just make sure you tag me, and you know, I'll go through it with you, or I'll get on a call and explain it, or whatever you need to do. So.
Do you mostly do Zoom calls when you're talking to your coaches?
I like to. Gosh, I love video. I love video, and I know so many of us aren't super comfortable, but really, I just think it's the best way for me to show who I am and my personality. And granted, if somebody's going to sign up with you, they kind of already know you somewhat from maybe being in a challenge group or seeing you on Facebook or whatever. But I mean, this is a little bit different when you're starting a business relationship. So I want them to know that, yeah, I can be serious, and, you know, I'm not always being a dork on camera. So I think it's a good idea to be able to talk one-on-one, because too, so many times, sometimes on the phone, you can talk over each other. And I think just video, you can see when someone's talking, and you can, answer each other's questions and see body language. And I think that's important. Karen.
Doc wants to recruit.
So, all right, cool. Well, I'm glad I could stretch out our time a little bit, and we're not going to run out. Yay.
Yay. Thank you. Loved it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jen.
Yes.
And you'll have the recording up, and so if you guys want to share with your coaches who weren't on the call, or if you want to go back and review what she said and just take more notes, the recording will be up shortly.
Yep, I'll get it up. I'll pop it up there as soon as I see it finished.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks for getting on the call. Have a good night.
Oh, hey, who's going to be on the call next week? Just for a recap.
Hold on.
Me, I think, right?
Andrea.
A speaker.
The 17th, Andrea.
And this is
Next week, we're going to have Andrea on the call, and it's going to be about balancing your real life and your coaching life. You know, how to make the two work and how to set priorities and schedules and all that. So make sure you get on that call next week. Same time.
Woohoo.
All right.
All right. See you all then.
All right.
Bye.
Get ready.
Have a good night.
Night.